back to another video. Hope you're doing great. Thank you so much guys for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your love and support. May God bless you all. My name is Cynthia. If you're watching me for the first time, you're welcome to the family. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing us how to make this short kaftan dress. I'll be using two different fabrics for this tutorial. I have 1.5 yards of Ankara fabric and 1 yard of cotton fabric. And I'll be using this cotton fabric for the ruffles. So this is 1.5 yards. I'll be cutting the front and the back together. This is the front. So I want to use this pattern here for the button overlap for the front part. This is folded into 2 and this is folded into 2. This is the back panel. To know the amount of fabric you're going to cut out, you measure right from your back midpoint to where you want it to be. I want this to be 19 inches right from my midpoint shoulder. I will be using 4 inches for the ruffles and 15 inches for the Ankara fabric. So I will add 1/2 inch for sewing allowance. That is 15.5 inches. For the back side, I have 15.5 inches. And for the front, I have 18.5 inches. The front is 3 inches bigger than the back side because I'm going to be using these 3 inches for the button overlap. So right from here, I will mark 3 inches all the way from here. So I'll mark 3 inches from the top to the lower part. I will make a straight line here. This 3 inches is for button overlap. I will fold these 3 inches inside. So I'll fold it inside. You can see the front and the back are now equal. We won't be needing much measurement for this tutorial. So the length of my dress is 40 inches plus sewing allowance. So we have 15.5 inches. By the time we add the 4 inches ruffle to it, we have a 19.5 inches. I'll use the 1/2 inch for sewing allowance. So I will go to the shoulder here, mark 3 inches. And I will mark 3 inches for the depth. This 3 inches is for the front. I will mark 1.5 inches for the back depth. I will connect the back and the front. I will go to this side and mark 1.5 inches for shoulder slope. I will connect the shoulder slope to the neckline. Okay. So right on this place, I'll mark 10 inches for the arm opening. You can mark 10 inches, you can mark 11 inches. The arm opening is not tight. I'll mark 10 inches here. So I'll make a notch here. From here to here is 15.5 inches plus sewing allowance. So I mark 15 inches all the way to the bottom part. I will go ahead and cut it out. The back, neck, shoulder slope. I'll cut out the front neckline. I will split the front part open. So I have 2 here for the front and 1 for the back. We'll be cutting out the ruffles later on. This is the back. And this is the front. I will join the shoulders together. But before I join the shoulders, I will stitch my button overlap. So this is my button overlap. I will first fold 1.5 inch inside and then fold the remaining 1.5 inch like so. I will stitch it very close to this folded edge here. From here to the bottom part, I will do the same thing for this side. Remember we added 3 inches for button overlap. I will fold 1.5 inches and fold 1.5 inches and then stitch it all the way to the bottom stump. Then join the shoulders together. I will join the shoulders with 1/2 inch. I finished stitching the overlap, and I also joined the shoulders together. I did not stitch this side. I will be stitching this side later on. I want to attach the ruffle before stitching this side. So measure this side round and use it to cut out the ruffles. I will measure it round like so. I have 74 inches here. So this is 74 inches and the other side is 74 inches. Because I'm making a ruffle, I will multiply this 74 by 2. 74 times 2 is 148. So I'll be cutting out 148 on this side and 148 on the other side. If you want it very full, you can multiply it by 2.5. For this one, I'll be timesing it by 2. So I cut out 148 for this side and 148 for this side. Remember I said I will be adding 4 inches for the ruffles. The wideness is 5 inches. I will use 1/2 inch for sewing allowance on this side and use 1/2 inch for sewing allowance on this side. Then we'll be left with 4 inches. Before I make the side ruffle, I will make sure I hem the edges. Use 1/2 inch to hem the edges round. So I'll make it like so, right side facing right side. This is the ruffle. I will make sure I leave 1 inch for sewing allowance at the bottom here. As I stitch, I will gather it along with the stitch. I'll use 1/2 inch to stitch it. I will take it round to this other side. To this other side. I will repeat the same thing for the other side. So guys, I'm done attaching the ruffles to the dress. This is the side. We'll go ahead and stitch the side. I will turn this to the wrong side. And tuck the ruffles inside. I will push the ruffles inside to the right side. This is the notch I made earlier. So I have about 10 inches notch here. So right from this notch, I will stitch here. I will still follow the same line I stitched earlier. Just stitch it all the way to the lower part. I'll repeat the same thing for this side. So after I've done that, I'll measure the neckline and use it to cut out the collar. So I'll measure the neckline round. I have 19 inches here for the neckline. I will cut out the collar stand. I have a video on how to cut out a shirt and collar. You can watch it, but I'll just make a quick illustration again. I'm cutting out the collar stand. The fabric is folded into 2. I will fold it like so. I'm cutting out 2. That is why I folded into 2. On my collar stand, I have 2 inches here. So I want it to be 1.5 inches after sewing it. The round neck is 19 inches. Divided by 2 is 9.5 inches. I'll mark 9.5 inches and add 1/2 inch for sewing allowance. So I have 10 inches. So this is exactly 10 inches. So I'll look for the midpoint of this 10 inches. This is the midpoint. I'll go to the edge here and go inside by 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch. I will connect it to this midpoint. I'll curve it at the upper part here. So I will split it open. That's the collar stand. I will cut out the collar. So I will fold my fabric into 2. I'm still cutting out 2 of these. I'll fold it into 2, then fold it again like so. The collar stand will be 1 inch bigger than the normal collar. So I marked out 9.5 inches for the collar stand. I will mark out 8.5 inches for the collar, folded into two. 8.5 inches. Then I will add 1 inch for allowance. That's here. So I have 3.5 inches here. I want it to be 2.5 inches after stitching it. Remember, I folded this into two. This is the midpoint. Right on this midpoint, I will go inside by 1/2 inch. I will connect it like so. This is 9.5 inches plus sewing allowance. I will add 1 inch on this side to have that pointed effect. So this side is 11 inches and this side is 9.5 inches. I added about 1.5 inches to this side. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. And I will split this side open. I will iron interfacing on one side of the collar and iron interfacing on one side of the collar stand. Go ahead and join the collars together. So this is the collar. I will use 1/2 inch to stitch it like so round and stitch it to this side. After stitching it, I will turn it inside out to the right side. Now guys, I finished stitching the sides together. So this is where the arm will pass through. I have my collar and collar stand here. I've stitched the collar together and they turn it inside out, give it a good press. I will take one of the collar stands. This is the right side. The right side is facing up. I will take the collar, place it like so, right side facing right side. I will look for the midpoint. This is the midpoint of the collar and this is the midpoint of the collar stand. So I'll match the midpoint together. Then take the other collar stand, right side facing right side, match the midpoint together. So I will stitch it like so. I will leave 1/2 inch here because I will use the 1/2 inch to join it to the neckline. I will stitch it like so and bring it to this side. I will leave 1/2 inch here also. I will use it to attach it to the neckline. So guys, I finished attaching the collar stand and the collar together. So we'll attach this to the neckline. So I will take it right from here. So this is the 1/2 inch I left unsewed. I will take it, stitch it round with 1/2 inch. Right side facing right side. So after the first stitch, I will use this one to cover up the first stitch and stitch it round again. So guys, this is the finished look of the dress. I finished attaching the collar to the neckline. I have about 5 buttons here. I'll use hand needle to attach my buttons. I will make about 5 to 6 inches gap between each button. So I have about 5 buttons here. I'll place one here, 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 and here. So the buttons will be on the left side, while the button holes will be on the right side. So I've also hemmed the button of the dress. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you find this video very helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I will see you guys in my next one. Love you. Bye.